Hey everybody, what's up?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nerd Wonder's Spider-Man podcast.
Oh, shit, it's a podcast.
Is it? Sorry, I just thought that would sound like a really good opening.
No, that was an amazing opening. If we do really a podcast, can we please can you be the host dude that like
Absolutely.
Like actually you have like a radio voice. I'm honestly kind of contemplating, like, do you work for the radio
I
station?
do not actually. Although I do have a little bit of music in my family. I'm completely I'm musically illiterate myself, but no, I just happen to have a really nice voice.
Yeah. I have the whiniest sounding voice after Hayden Christensen, so I will never go into...
Personally, I like your voice more than I like my own, but that's only because I can actually hear how much nasal resonance is in my voice.
I think it's more just like I interpret my voice as being higher pitched than it actually is, and then when I hear it played back to me, it's like, what the absolute hell is that? That is not me. That is some goblin who edited the footage.
That's how I think that's how most people perceive their voices, because I have this tendency to listen to my own voice and hear, just it sounds just one way to me because of the way that it resonates through my skull, and it sounds completely different when I hear it through a speaker, and through the speaker is what everybody else hears, so there you go.
Oh, yeah, like back when I made YouTube videos for a pseudo living back in high school, I had to listen to my voice a lot, and it was disturbing. That was an awkward pause.
No, I was just thinking about me listening to my own voice. Sometimes I really hate it.
Also, where's the link? I know it was, there it is. Okay. Sending it off to a couple of friends of mine.
Everybody's in the chat. This is good. Haha! I'm already stealing most of England Teen's crew away. Haha! Win. Take that. You took all of my harem stream. You ungrateful monster. Okay, that's a joke for anybody listening. I do not want anybody to think I'm that angry. I never know. And so, damn it! I sent him the wrong link. Hang on. First person I promised is Nightwolf to come on the stream. So we're gonna get Nightwolf on because Nightwolf is super cool. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna talk. We're once again talking about Spider-Man, and we're gonna get a few. We'll probably have other people on. I sent the link to a few others, so we're hoping to see them in the stream soon.
As a random aside, I have a friend who has been talking to me about doing a podcast off and on for the last couple of years, and we've never gotten around to it because he just doesn't have the time, and also has no idea what we would talk about. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, I hear that echo. That's just baby.
Oh, my microphone wasn't even on. My mistake.
Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Woo.
I had my microphone on mute. My bad. I forgot I turned it off.
So who's echoing then?
Oh, is it going to be like Spider-Man 3? No. Jonah Arts has asked us, is Spidey Stream 3 going to be like Spider-Man 3? You mean a piece of trash where Venom shows up at the last minute and a movie I never saw, and I'm glad I didn't because one more day happened and I went cold turkey on everything Spider-Man and then found out it was shit. I'm like, exactly. I knew it was going to be shit. I'm a genius.
I mean, if I get to walk like a jackass down the street to a James Brown track, I don't know. Maybe I will.
That wasn't James Brown, was it? I thought it was Saturday night. The Bee Gees, "Staying Alive," wasn't it?
No, it was James Brown.
James Brown.
Why do I know?
Missed opportunity, Sam Raimi. Missed opportunity. He's doing the Saturday Night Live walk, and it's a James Brown track, and not just
should have been a Saturday Night Fever reference.
Yeah.
You want to know what? I was just thinking, like, you want to know what? Just this morning, somebody was posting, click like if you preferred Homecoming. Retweet if you preferred Spider-Man 2. So maybe we should talk about Spider-Man movies tonight.
Why not?
I mean, we can just talk about anything. The world is ours.
But I wrote it as
the stream will probably go off the rails at some point.
Yeah, I will.
It definitely will.
Invite anybody and watch it just like explode, and then I'll just kind of like leave it and let you guys
what stream was that? I remember there being a stream where it went like completely off the rails because you invited everybody from the Discord in.
Yeah, it was the first time I was able to get my streaming service returned. I got out of Twitter jail. I got out of YouTube jail, and I decided I was going to let everybody in. That was a terrible idea. And actually, Weapon kept telling me that's a terrible idea.
Hang on. Dearth Diabetic
to get in my stream. It'll be probably like 3 people. I was wrong.
So get this. Someone said so Homecoming is a superior Spider-Man movie.
No, it's not.
What?
Get out. You have been banned. I reported your channel and you're done.
Get out of here. Who said that? Who the hell said that?
Dearth Diabeto.
We are disowning you now, Dearth.
In all due fairness, I liked it a lot better than the Sam Raimi movies, so in that sense, it is superior.
Bite your tongue, son.
Oh man, really?
Okay, on Disney thought.
Okay, I'm gonna say there are flaws with the Sam Raimi movies. There are a lot of flaws. Like there's parts that I cringe at or think, why did they even go in this direction?
Oh
but
yeah, they're stupid movies. But
I will have to say one of the best dynamics that I loved was the damn a lot of the characters had some great dynamics, and I have to say I adored Harry and Peter's relationship in the first and second film. That was so monumental. Like, the comics can't even compare because I was so enamored by it because I was like, these are 2 friends, and they're going to grow up to be rivals. And you could see Harry so damn troubled. And look who's playing him.
And not just that, it's also the chemistry between James Franco and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Also, as much as we like to rail on Dafoe for being an absolute cartoon in that movie, It was awesome. It was like when he was acting like a cartoon in a real life scenario. He's actually kind of scary, like that scene in the boardroom where he's going like, "You know how much I sacrificed." Like that terrified me.
What's spooky was when he went on the phone and he went, "Kid Spider-Man, come out to play," after he like attacked his aunt. I was like, "Now that is
at a hospital payphone."
One of my favorite moments with Willem Dafoe in that movie was, you know, just the times where you can actually see his mouth through the mask. Yeah, and he's got this absolutely manic expression that matches the mask so well.
He also changes expressions really, really fast. Like when he's switching between Osborn and the Goblin persona. Yeah, it's like instantaneous, and it's kind of impressive in that regard.
When he's talking to himself in the mirror
scene. Yeah, the mirror scene was actually done in one take, and it's kind of edited a little bit to make it look a little bit faster than it actually is, but not by much.
Oh yeah. And that's probably my favorite part, was him actually communicating with his alter ego. I love that.
Though to be fair, the scene of him like crawling on the floor to the mask did look a little stupid. I'm not gonna lie, that did look kind of silly.
No, that was the later scene, that when he's like he didn't want to kill Peter.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying, in comparison, like you have
that is a little odd.
My absolute favorite moment. My absolute favorite moment in the entire movie is one line, and the line is, "Follow the cold shiver running down your spine." That line was delivered to perfection.
God, no. Okay, as much as I like that line, it's kind of ruined by the fact like MJ screams like a banshee.
Yeah.
Okay, MJ was sucky through those whole entire movies. Like, I love MJ, but at the same time, these it was not. This is why people are pissed off, especially because people are like, maybe Michelle really is MJ, and people are still pissed off. Like, why are you still pissed off? And it's like, because this isn't a
Like the closest we got was Spectacular Spider-Man. I think all four of us in this stream are like we're all marriage advocates. Like we're all Spider marriage fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like we haven't gotten a proper representation of that in film.
No, it's never been. The cartoons have done it.
We were getting close, 90s. But yeah, the 90s. Actually, no, the 90s did have the wedding.
Yeah, they did have the wedding. It was a clone though, but they were supposed to return her, and you can get the script. You can get the script from the creator of the final epic showdown that rescues her. So that's pretty cool.
Wasn't Tom DeFalco the showrunner for that?
I think he was a producer on it, like a creative consultant.
Yeah,
like
it's
in the same.
It's beautiful. That explains so much.
More in the same capacity, like Bendis is a consultant for Ultimate Spider-Man when it was airing. It's more like in that capacity.
Yeah, but you want to know? I think Duffy actually worked on
Dwayne McDuffie.
Yeah, I think he worked on
that.
Somebody from Static Shock worked on there, and I could have sworn it was Dwayne Duffy. And I mean, that guy knew his shit. I'm so sad he's gone. Dwayne, where are you now?
I'm kind of sad that that the one work that credits him after he died was that really crappy episode of Ben 10 Ultimate Alien.
Yeah.
Like as much as I love Ben 10 or as a concept, it got really, really shitty after Ultimate Alien.
Getting off of Ben 10 and moving back around to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, one of the biggest complaints that I personally have with that is Peter Parker. I understand for a lot of people, they say that Mary Jane was absolutely terrible as Mary Jane, but there was, first and foremost, there was nothing wrong with Kirsten Dunst's performance, and second,
the problem was that she had
the problem was that she was written to be the ideal girlfriend for this version of Peter, and this was a shit version of Peter.
I don't know. I think more in that in comparison to Garfield, Tobey was a better Peter Parker, and it's just that it was easier to believe why he got bullied. Like, he looked the part of a nerd.
I understand that, and I agree with you there. There were a few things about Andrew Garfield's performance that I really liked, and there were things that I didn't like at all.
Like the hipster skateboarding just kind of came off as cringy, and Sony basically doing a "how do you do, fellow kids."
Yeah. I think that for me the problem with it was more both of them have certain parts of Spider-Man down or Peter Parker down. The part that Andrew Garfield does very well is the whole thing of he is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He does that part very well.
Oh yeah, ASM
where he's like everybody's friend. He's talking. He wants to. I see you, Mr. E. Don't think I don't notice you. Oh, we'll be prepared. Don't worry. I will be as prepared as I possibly can be for you on Sunday. But
oh God, Ramos.
What?
Ramos. That name. Change your last name.
But yeah, he does the whole thing of, hey, I'm the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man part pretty well. And Tobey handles the more somber, more serious stuff that Spider-Man is supposed to contend with on a regular basis. I'm not a big... The problem is that, and I've heard other people discuss this, and I agree with this, is that stop putting Peter in high school scenarios. Just stop it. That was like 1/5 of his entire run. Focus on him being in college. Focus.
Not even a fifth. Yeah. Like 100th. Like 100th of his run.
Yeah, it was 1 year, and he's been going around for 40.
And there was a reason for that.
20 issues, right? 20 issues of him in a high school, but these people won't get over it. It is iconic. Yes, it is. It is incredibly iconic that he is the first teenage superhero that didn't need any team, and that's great. But you want to know what? College superhero should be where he starts, and you tell a story that you begin it off. I could just picture it. You begin it off with some. I'm putting 2 more people into the chat, by the way.
Oh dear Lord!
It's okay. They're the last 2. They're the only 2 that are getting in.
So you want to know the dirty little secret of why Spider-Man did not stay in high school?
I think it was Ditko, wasn't it? I mean, I think either it was Lee or Ditko.
It was because of Stan Lee's run, and it was effectively somebody made this as just part of how it was going. But this was before they had the concept of the sliding time scale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they introduced the sliding time scale after the introduction of Spider-Man. And so when a month would go by in real time, the next issue would be 1 month later. And that's why Peter ended up going to college after just a couple of years. Otherwise, he probably would have stayed in high school for a lot longer.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is that some of his best stories and whatnot come from his college years more so than his high school.
Like, there's I can name like one good story that came from high school. Actually, maybe not even that. Like most of his iconic stories came after college. I think the Master Planner saga came like just after he got into ESU.
All of the good shit was in college.
All of the good stuff was college or after college.
All the high school run did was establish his villains. Like the last villain that was like really established during the high school run was Mysterio.
Right.
Even Craven didn't turn up
and through a large portion of that, he still was growing into being a superhero. I mean, a lot of his first few issues was him getting help from other heroes and other characters.
We got
he couldn't even beat Sandman or any of the villains that he had to fight.
Well, you're
right. He lost quite a few times. Like he met the Chameleon and Sandman when he was in high school, and he was
got owned.
Oh yeah, he got pwned hard.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that the fact that Peter had to lose in order to get that back, in order to make that secondhand swing, was important to his character. That he was going up against he was going up against villains that didn't fit his power set. Like Sandman could escape his webs, Mysterio could trick him sans spider sense, and that just other villains like that weren't that Peter couldn't just beat by swinging his fists around. He had to be creative.
Doc Ock, he was the first person to ever rip apart his webs, and that scared him. That he was like,
"How you doing, Shogun?"
Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going, Lynx?
Going good.
Up?
Hey, man.
But yeah, I think what Homecoming did right was that it showed Peter lose to the Vulture multiple times. Like he learned from, and each time he learned from his mistakes.
You want to know what else?
What?
I have to say, I did like this version of Peter because he wasn't greedy or anything. Like a little bit greedy because he was enthusiastic, but I like that part where Ned wants him to dress up as Spider-Man and show off to all the friends, and Peter doesn't want to. And Ned's like, "Why not?" And he goes, "Because it's stupid, Ned." And he gets egged on to do it. But even when he's on the roof and he's dressing up, he is pissed off at his own self that he's like, "Great, Peter, that's a great idea. Let's use our superpowers to just do this and show off at a party. That's like the best thing ever." And I'm like, thank you.
That's something that like modern day heroes would do. Like that's something America Chavez would do.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Holy menstruation! I'm gonna go into sorority."
Hola, yo soy America Chavez. Soy mexicana.
You've seen the co-thread about America Chavez. There was a co-thread where someone impersonated Gabby Rivera, and it was like the most stereotypical impersonation of a person from like Central America. But it was like hilarious just because it sounded like something Gabby Rivera would say.
Wow, I started like tacos and sombreros.
Oh, they made those memes.
Oh, the sad part is I'm Mexican and I do love tacos.
There's a thing.
Hey, I'm white and I like tacos, so
I'm looking at the South. Tacos are delicious. I'm like, my God, I love them. But here's the thing, though. People suspect. There's this thing going around the lake, and people are like, pretty sure she's just a white girl pretending. I mean, she's pretty pale, and she doesn't know a lick of Spanish, and everybody's looking at her and they're like, pretty sure she's only.
There is such a thing as white Mexicans. I knew a kid from Mexico who was a redhead, not even joking.
No, yeah, no, I know that, but people are suspecting that she's just like, if anything, she's 1/16 Hispanic, and she's like really Polish or something.
Oh yeah, like I live in cowboy state.
Yeah. She doesn't know anything about the culture, and I think she's just kind of riding on it. But really, my issue with her is that you write like BoJack Horseman writing his own memoirs. Who hurt you, Gabby? Who dumped you? Because that's how she writes America Chavez. My girlfriend broke up with me. I can't get over my girlfriend, but I hate her because she broke up with me, and I need her to feel sorry that she ever broke up with me, so she'll come back. And that's how she writes America Chavez.
I don't think there was like a single moment in the America run where she was presented as a likable person. No, that's my problem with
the ultimate.
She breaks up with her girlfriend. She breaks up with her girlfriend because she refuses to pay her tuition and live in her van with her.
Yeah. Her girlfriend is going to college or whatever, and that's why.
Yeah.
And then her girlfriend keeps becoming a villain or something, and it's pretty obvious at that point when you notice this. Gabby was in a relationship. The girl left and probably blamed it as and like kind of shoved it away, or Gabby really believed that she really left her because of her schooling and her education or something like that. Something to do with education. And thus she wants to prove that she's a smart person too. So she writes America going to college and 100 times better. This is what I see when I see this. I'm like, okay, so you got dumped by some girl with a better, and you think it's about inferiority of knowledge. Then you have all these, but you really love her, but you also think she's a scumbag for leaving you. So you make her the villain, but then at the same time yearning for America Chavez, but also to be pitiable,
no, the girlfriend didn't become the villain. What happened was, the blonde girlfriend from Ultimates, they broke up, and then she got kidnapped by America's fan club, and then after a crossover with Storm from the X-Men, she finally saved her, and then they didn't get back together because reasons. And then in the very next issue, in a crossover with Kate Bishop, she hooks up with a friend from her childhood.
Oh,
and guys, then they get into a relationship like immediately after.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that it's all about it's her trying to say I'm better, like I don't need you, I'm so much better off without you.
This is Rivera saying I know this character better than Al Ewing does.
What is this, Sonichu? Fucking interpreting all your
someone made that comparison.
Better. Have you seen that guy that draws it? It looks like everybody looks like a heroin addict. Like
someone
get slightly
a little off track here.
Yeah, to get slightly on track, let's talk about how great Miguel O'Hara is.
Oh,
and how like he's like a Mexican Irish dude, and it's never brought up, and he's just heralded as like just a cool Spider-Man of the future. And not look, guys, he's Mexican.
Done right.
Yeah,
he's the one Spider knockoff that George Berryman approves of.
And he's probably one of the few Spider-Man knockoffs that I approve of.
Wait, may I ask who George Berryman is?
He's one of the main administrators for Spider-Man Crawl Space, and he is notoriously purist in terms of what characters he likes and doesn't like.
Does he like Spider-Girl?
Really?
I think so. Yeah, he doesn't like the clone characters. He doesn't like Ben Reilly or Base Kane.
How about Mayhem?
What?
Mayhem's not that great.
No,
I like Mayhem.
I mean, I don't hate her, but I don't have anything like anything like that makes me especially affectionate towards her.
Yeah, you're right. Like she came and she went. It was kind of weird to have her around when she was such a psychopath. I'm like, you guys need to put her in therapy like immediately.
Yeah. It was like, and then she just kind of screwed off, and then we never heard from her again.
Didn't she die in a fire?
Series ended when she died or something like that because, like, she went psychopathic, and that was the only time she actually learned.
Oh, that, someone in the comment section asked us to talk about Sideways.
I didn't read it
yet. I'm so sad because
I saw the art. The art's really pretty.
Rocketford is rocking it.
Let me explain this. I got really sick, so I wasn't able to go to get my comics. I went today to pick up my medal because I forgot it the last time I went, and I saw Sideways there, and everybody was really hesitant about getting it, and I'm like, I don't really know if I should get it, so I left without it, and that's when DNC posted his review screaming, "Oh my god, this is so good!" And then he like showed a picture of it, and I'm like, oh no!
The book is really pretty.
When DNC, who has notoriously picky taste when it comes to comic books, says a comic is good, you kind of want to jump on board.
Yeah, I want to move that needle. I want to move that needle. Like, Mr. Miracle as well. Like, when he gets that super hyped, I want to buy it because Mr. Miracle was one of those comics as well, where he's like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Everybody,
I kind of want to know what. I kind of want to know what Ernst thinks about it, just because he really liked Mr. Miracle and has been especially praised. Like, he's been singing DC's praises since Rebirth kicked off.
You guys want to know what
really well with Rebirth.
What I got on New Comic Book Day? I got freaking Poison X Part 2.
Oh, stop this. Why are you torturing yourself, man? Come on.
Because
what is Poison X and why should I be afraid?
Okay, so it's a crossover between Venom and the X-Men Blue.
Okay, no more.
I actually liked it.
Yo, you go to the corner of shame.
I liked it. Let me explain. It's like, it's pretty cool. It's a continuation of Venomverse. And
Mate, we've been getting Mate, we've been getting Venom. We're gonna be getting Venomverse for the next 6 months.
Hell yeah!
No, like what? Project Hulk X with Wolverine Hulk. These guys need to chill the fuck out. You wanna know what? Undo one more day, fix everything. I don't even give a shit. Say yes. Yes, you wanna know what? When undoing one more day makes them reverse all the way back to Civil War 1, people would accept that and like let it be known that only 5 people actually know what happened in the previous universe and the timeline, and that way people will want to read the original old hellscape because there'll be things that'll actually connect to the future or something like that, being like, we can prevent this. And I was like, what would be the outcome if they didn't prevent it? It's like, dude, you gotta read this shit to find out.
I do
did retcon everything.
Oh,
I want to point out this about Venom because Venom's one of my favorite villain characters from Spider-Man, and I'm sick and goddamn tired of him being overused at this point.
Yeah,
I like Venom. I like the symbiotes when they're used appropriately, but I don't want to see him in freaking every conceivable thing.
Well, for me,
that's what Marvel does.
For me, what bothers me about the symbiotes is that they're all, for some reason, all the symbiotes seem to be web slingers. And like Poison X is fixing that problem.
No, they're not.
They're kind of actually reinforcing that problem because, like, if you look on the cover of X-Men Blue, you see Iceman shooting his I don't know what you call it, his ramp thing.
Yeah,
and it's shooting webs that look like ice.
It's not like that in the book. In the book, it's just like
reinforces that stigma that all the symbiotes are web slinging.
In the comic, they don't do that.
They don't.
He just shoots black ice.
Carnage doesn't even do that. Even in the original books, he didn't web swing very much at all.
Yeah, but
I think I'm one of those idiots who look at the cover and
the cover will sell the book. Like I've always said, the cover is what sells the book. So if your cover artist is giving the wrong message that's going to be displayed in your book, that means that there's no communication going on, and you can only expect that other people in the other books are not going to go and comply.
This cover is weird.
Right when he says that the cover is basically the opening paragraph, it serves as an advertisement of what you're going to be getting, and if you don't have a connection from what the cover is showing to what's inside, the customer is going to feel ripped off.
Yeah, like Venom Inc. was kind of one of the biggest perpetrators of that crime because, like, you have all these epic covers of like Venom chomping down on Spider-Man, Agent Anti-Venom, and Black Cat, and Venom, and then like it's just mundane crap. Like they're just wandering around looking for stuff.
Yeah,
I won't even buy it. I mean, I'm just so sick of it because it's just a gimmick to make you buy books. It's a gimmick after gimmick after gimmick. They know what we want. They know this isn't what we want, but they think we're stupid. That is how Marvel rolls nowadays.
They think we're the dumbest people and that we'll buy anything if it has Marvel on it or it has Spider-Man. That is literally how they see us.
To be fair, I do like imagery covers. Like I rely heavily on imagery covers. If y'all go on my Comic Vine threads, y'all will know that I love imagery in my comics.
This cover is like weird. I like this cover though. It's like Venom and all the X-Men are in like a web. It's cool.
Like, I mean, that sounds pretty cool, but
I keep on getting interrupted, unfortunately.
I'm
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Fine. But the one thing about Venom, the symbiotes, that I think people need to understand with, I'm sure most people here probably know this, but when a symbiote bonds with someone, it considering it feeds off people. Whenever new symbiotes come out, each of them is different, and it's all dependent on who they bond with.
Yeah, I think it's Marvel.
Because when Venom bonded with Peter, it gained his powers. That's why Eddie Brock basically has the same powers, just amplified to a higher level. When Carnage is born, he doesn't have the same powers because it's not. Apparently, it doesn't genetically inherit to the next. And
hi, Johnny.
Oh, hey, Alchemist.
Oh, wait. So you're talking about symbiotes, and I'm 90s Dormammu. My plans normally revolve around symbiotes for some reason.
What?
That was a thing in the 90s animated series. The entire plot revolving around the origin of Carnage involves Dormammu pulling the satellite down to Earth because the Venom symbiote was about to reproduce.
Yeah.
Shocker!
Yeah,
and he wanted to use Carnage as a pawn.
Yep. It didn't work out very well, but yes.
It's even dumber in Fernando's little dumb thing because, like, for no reason, Magic was fighting Blackheart, Despair, and Dormammu. All three of them are like my favorite supernatural villains.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Oh, okay. I just remembered something. The freaking, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about Pete's tech suit in Homecoming.
Oh,
that's actually a good thing to talk about because
it doesn't really bother me.
Okay.
Okay. Now you've lost all credibility. Get out.
Okay. I am the king of the stream. I go first about the tech suit.
Okay.
I will say this. Okay. Yeah. First of all, I don't mind it that Tony Stark is the one that redesigned his suit and made it look that way. Because, let's face it, how many people know high school boys that are able to design kick-ass suits?
I mean,
on low budget.
Raise his hand.
Godzilla Mendoza?
Yeah, like one. And let's face it, Peter Parker ain't an artist. He's a science.
Never was.
He's not going to be able to make it that cool looking or anything. So obviously Tony Stark made it. But the thing is, then they make Karen, and I want Karen to go die in a fire, and I hope she never comes back.
I actually quite like Karen, just more because she provides a sort of person for Peter to talk to, and it avoids a lot of awkward silence.
I mean, I understand that,
but we can blame Tom Holland for the awkward silence.
I don't want her to come back afterwards, is the thing.
Totally.
Her whole entire thing was to be, because people think she's going to return, and I'm like, Karen's main goal was, main purpose in that movie was to show that Peter did not need gadgetry or somebody else to mold him. He didn't need a Jarvis or Friday because she was giving him all the wrong information. She was giving him everything he did not want. And in the end, he realized he didn't need her.
Kill mode. Wait, why would Tony put a kill mode? That's what I want to know.
Just because it's something that he's used to doing all the time. So it would make sense that he'd put it in a suit.
Yeah. There is actually
a 15-year-old?
There is actually a theory as to why he put a few things in there. One idea of there's a thing about the parachute that he put on Peter's suit. People suspect it has something to do with watching Rhodey fall.
Oh
yeah, that makes sense.
Doing it, and he regrets it that he put that in Peter's suit on purpose.
There's one problem. There's one problem with this theory, though. Yes. This suit, to the best of our knowledge, is the same suit that he gave Peter before Rhodey fell.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
that's a good point.
He only gave him an upgrade after. And now he's going to wear the Iron Spider whatever suit afterward.
And that thing can die in a fire.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Well, it might.
It's only going to be used once. Peter's not going to wear it again because he doesn't want schematics. I was glad because that whole entire movie, it's not bad. It's just mediocre. I watched it twice in theaters, but I have no interest in buying the movie. I buy a lot of these movies when I'm super hyped, but this one kind of killed me. Maybe it's because they kept cheesing us with Mary Jane and it became a blatant lie. But I don't know.
Do you want me to kill?
There was the issue is that the whole entire story is making Peter realize he doesn't want to be an Avenger. He doesn't need to be an Avenger. He doesn't want to be an Avenger. He was really idolizing Tony. He thought he was ready to be an Avenger, and he realized when he finally has the ability, defeats a villain, and he realizes he can't be Avenger. He realizes that he's better off on the ground and that it's just not for him. Being an Avenger is not for him and he must move on. And it was very symbolic. A lot of that stuff, you got to give it credit for. It was very symbolic to the comics. Like, there was a 90s issue in there. We got the iconic, what was it, number 17 in there where he lifts up all that rubble
and shit.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of iconic pieces, and I was very happy about the Civil War. The original Civil War shows up when they're about to release Spider-Man as an Avenger, and he doesn't take it. It's that, along with him leaving and walking away from Tony, is kind of an iconic thing of the first time that Peter attempted to become an Avenger in the comics, and he actually turned away at the end and he left.
Yes, Peter's becoming his own dude.
Yeah.
I do think that some of the movie loses its touch at times. Like, there are times when it should be there should be at least a single mention of Uncle Ben. Like, I know that they've done the origin, like having Uncle Ben get shot multiple times is not fun to look at, but at least to mention him in passing, they go, "Oh, your uncle will be so proud of you," or something like that. But it's all replaced by Tony Stark, and it gets to a point where it's just Peter's just wanting to impress Iron Man and not live up to his responsibility mantra.
Okay, so my issue with the film. Why is an Indian kid named Eugene Thompson?
He's Guatemalan, actually.
Yes.
What? Guatemalan?
Yeah.
Man, Flash kind of makes me sad. We're never going to get Ancient Venom.
I mean...
I wanted him to be Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
He's an Osborn. Look at him.
It would make sense at least.
Obnoxious enough for it, yeah.
For me, I thought Eugene was pretty believable because I've dealt with a kid like that. So
Yeah, everybody's dealt with a kid like that. The problem is that all the supporting cast members are unhealthily irritating to me. I can't stand a single one of them. Every single one of them. Yes, Michelle's annoying. Ned's annoying.
Liz was cool. Liz was good. I did like Liz.
Liz was okay, but pretty much.
And then she died on the way to her home planet.
Betty did nothing.
She didn't feel necessary to the plot, but aside from the big reveal later.
I have a question. Am I the only one who was bothered by the fact that Betty Brant was played by a blonde?
Not
really. You're not alone.
You're not the only one. Everybody hated that, but also they felt a lot of people were worried they were trying to make her into the new Gwen Stacy.
It was a very bizarro creative decision for me.
Yeah,
I was wondering, why did you even call her that? She doesn't even really have any importance to the story or plot. She's
also,
there.
This movie has a bad problem with hyping up its supporting cast and only for them to have 5 minutes worth of screen time. Remember the whole controversy where Zendaya was hyped to be MJ? She had to make 5 minutes of screen time at most, and she did almost nothing with it. The same as with Flash, the same as with Betty, the same as with Ned. I mean, Ned has some importance, but he doesn't really do much aside from the guy in the chair.
And he's gonna die later on, let's face it.
Oh no!
He's gonna get assassanated for being
Hobgoblin. Betty, and then he's gonna die because he goes out to fight a sniper when they meet up with Wolverine. So
Spider-Man Homecoming 3. There's they talk about the Fox deal.
Guys, we don't want Wolverine making quips, even though there's a good chance they're not even going to do that.
I'm a mocker, Bob.
Well, the Marvel movies are basically a quip machine because they know comedy will get them shit tons of money, but you know.
It's gonna die out though. It's getting boring to a point. So
I mean,
considering they interjected it into Star Wars, I don't like seeing it anymore.
You're right. No. We were watching.
But that was a different director and a different.
Doesn't matter.
It's the same formula of stupid one-line quips and bullshit.
That entire Hux conversation. That entire Hux conversation was great into the ears.
I always found it funny that people got tired of the quips in the Spider-Man movie.
No, I didn't get tired of. No, here's the thing: is that the quips in Spider-Man aren't grating in themselves. It's more that we've gotten so desensitized by them in other movies that when Spider-Man jokes around and quips, it doesn't have that same impact that it would if all the other heroes were like really serious.
I just want him to.
Because everybody else is quippy and funny, and it's like, but that's Spider-Man's gimmick, and now now it looks like he's just another one of these randos in this story. They literally
is Deadpool too recent to blame it?
No. It's a completely different production company, and Deadpool thrives off of humor.
It doesn't matter. It's because of the incestuous nature of Hollywood.
Yeah.
There you go.
No. I was talking about like.
Go ahead.
Isn't there a bigger problem with the fact that like I blame Joss Whedon.
No, I don't think it's him to blame. He's just the one who popularized the style, and everybody jumped on board with it.
No. That's the thing. Fucking Age of Ultron. Ultron started being fucking quippy because that's the only fucking villain Joss Whedon seems to know how to fucking write.
Hey, I kind of liked Ultron in there. He scared me. I thought he was creepy.
What would have made him even scarier is like if he was just dead, like a dead, cold, autonomous voice. Like
there's one argument against that, and it's the dumbest argument ever. Are you ready?
Also, that fake. Oh
no, let him talk. What is the argument?
The argument is he'll be considered a Skynet ripoff.
Yeah, that's stupid.
You want to know what? I like the actor. I do think that interesting Ultron was cool, but the concept surrounding it to make Ultron, the creation of Ultron, and the supporting cast of Wanda and Pietro do not work in that situation. If you want a cunning, interesting Ultron, you should have made him a different way. It would have been actually kind of cool if Hank Pym was the creator of Ultron, and in fact they find like maybe those Hydra members actually own that Ultron. Ultron was made years ago in a lab, but was never turned on. It was Hank Pym's final creation. And so the gang picks him up and they turn him on. And like maybe Wanda and Pietro are escaping Hydra. And they're all like, these people have ruined my country. Screw you, Avengers. You're all dumb or something like that. And then they like
Magneto.
They're trying to trash Ultron, and they scare him away and they take Ultron and they're like, let's wake it up because it's made by Hank Pym or whatever. Or they bring it into their lab and it wakes up on its own, and that's when everything goes crazy. And so, like, instead, Tony isn't blamed for Ultron because he didn't make Ultron anyway. So
it's kind of debatable because the core programming was there, but Tony added additional stuff to make it his program.
Yeah,
it would have been
Scarlet Witch.
I mean, my problem with Ultron is more in his design. Like he has that weird ass, he has that Transformers kind of face. Yeah. But like if you look at the concept art behind him, there's dozens of designs for Ultron that are far more like menacing and terrifying to look at than.
I do like it when he smiles.
Thank you so much for saying that, because when I first saw that movie, I just said to myself, Jesus Christ, you look like Megatron.
It's like Death's Head without a horn.
With the little jutting things next to his mouth, like, oh, I'm gonna destroy Optimus Prime and take over the Earth.
Yeah. If you remove,
weren't they trying
for Ultron?
Isn't that how he looks in the comic?
Oh no!
Ultron doesn't look anything like.
Ultron does not have speakers for cheeks in the comics.
Well, they kind of do, depending on the interpretation. But like his drones look more like Ultron than Ultron does. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wanted the drone design for Ultron.
I know what to do with Ultron.
I kind of wanted them all to kind of look homogenous and all look the same.
They did.
Ultron looks different than his drones.
Well, I mean, I thought you meant like the drones in general, but yeah.
The drones should all pretty much look the same, and Ultron should look like the drones because that's kind of one of the tricks. That
he should look like a like a slightly better version of the drones.
Yeah,
you know?
but because he does a very similar thing to like what Doctor Doom does with his Doombots, where the Doombots impersonate him instead of Doctor Doom being directly there. And the same thing kind of happens with Ultron, where he has shells of himself pretending to be the legitimate one while he's lollygagging around. When the Avengers kill him, it's like, oh, we took him out, no problem. Oh wait,
doesn't more.
I mean, in the long term, that's kind of always been Ultron's gimmick, that he's always got another body just waiting to be reactivated.
Guys, I realized something.
Wait.
Yeah.
I realized something. If you like made the Ultron model for bigger, and you gave it a bigger jaw and horns, you'd get like the perfect Death's Head model.
Oh my god, you're right. But someone said this. James Gunn did magic with Guardians. So.
I'm gonna agree with that on some level, but at the same time, I do think that he introduced a problem in the comics, because when Bendis took over after Thanos Imperative, he made the Guardians more like the movie versions. That's not to blame. That's not to blame. That's not to blame Gunn, but at the same time, he's also kind of responsible for integrating the quippiness of the Guardians movies into the comics as well, and that's probably where it all comes. Isn't
like Groot a murderer? Like killed his own brother and shit.
From what I remember reading of Guardians of the Galaxy under the Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning run, is they always had some degree of quippiness to them.
Well, it was more dry. It was more dry humor than just like straight up like quipping. Like,
fair enough.
I also miss Star-Lord's kick-ass helmet. That shit was that shit was
with the helmet
awesome. Yeah,
I loved his full-fledged helmet. It looked awesome.
Yeah,
like
I miss the blue jackets.
I'm hoping after
it was more space police.
So we're going to need to get back on topic in a moment here, but before we do, can I say that Gamora was almost completely miscast? Almost.
Really?
I could agree with that.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing. In Nova, the artist drew Gamora in a certain way and gave her, more of a broad heart-shaped face. And she has the most charming, most disarming smile you have ever seen. And when I saw that what's her face was cast, Zoe Saldana, thank you. When I saw Zoe Saldana was cast, I was thinking, no, I don't really see it. But then at the very end of Guardians 1, she gives that big grin. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Wait, guys. I just sent you a link of all of the concept art for Age of Ultron. Jesus fucking Christ, why didn't they go for any of these Ultrons?
Because money.
No, you want to know the actual answer.
They want the quips.
No, the actual answer. I know the actual answer.
What?
The actor wants to emote.
Oh, that's right. They picked an actor that was really
They picked the most emotionless character and gave him a face.
No, it's because the actor insisted on emoting to show off his range and shit.
So this was basically all oh man.
Oh my god, one of them looks like Garrus.
This was all James Spader's fault, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this one looks great as Iron Man!
This Hulkbuster armor designs are freaking amazing. I love them.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
This one that looks kind of like the what is it? The armor in Infinity War, the bleeding edge armor in Infinity War. That Hulkbuster looks amazing. I love it. It's so streamlined.
Yeah, I like some of these other Ultron designs. They look way better.
I like the one that it looks like he stole. He literally did steal an Iron Man suit, and he integrated it into himself. I really like Stage 1 V004. I have to say, this one looks scary and menacing. Oh, but also 003 looks really good. V007 looks like what's his name? Saren from Mass Effect 1 after he fully became indoctrinated.
Others look like base armors.
Myself.
Oh my god. Imagine Ultron, but he's just a bunch of Reapers.
Ah!
All right, I guess back on topic because we really
back to Spider-Man and
yay!
Okay, can we talk about something that made the Raimi films 10 times better? I have to say So the one thing that made it a bajillion times better is that they had kick-ass video games. Like, how many times do you know the video? Like, even during that
Spider-Man 3 was
era,
great.
yeah, even during that era, we already knew the joke that if it was a video game based on a movie, it's crap.
It was crap.
I mean, that meme still applies. That meme still applies. Like the Iron Man 2 game was horrendous.
But that's why they don't do them anymore. But let's face it, for some reason, this studio tried their darnest, and they made they made like 2 of the greatest games.
I can tell you exactly why. It's because it was Treyarch. They had already put out 2 great Spider-Man games on the old PlayStation, so they just took full advantage of the new hardware and said, "Okay, let's go balls to the wall with it."
Don't forget about Beanox.
Yeah.
I didn't play that.
Wait, what about someone said, how would you do the second Spidey MCU film? Because Mark Hamill wants to be Doc Ock.
Can I?
He's interested in being Doc Ock.
I would bring in Mark Hamill as Doc Ock, and I would have him have a romance with Aunt May.
Oh yeah!
Wait. The young one that's in the nuke?
Yes.
I don't. Yeah,
yes,
I don't
with
think
Marissa Tomei. Yes,
I don't.
Ooh, yeah.
She's not as young as you think she is. She's
No,
in her
she's
50s.
She's mid 50s.
He's Robert Downey Jr.'s age. They were in a film together called Only You, and that's why there was a joke ship going around, which actually Robert Downey Jr. was trolling people about, which is there was a secret ship going on where people were shipping Aunt May and Tony Stark. And I think because they were in Only You together, which was a movie about Marissa Tomei, like being told like long ago that she would find this man named blah 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 in Italy who would be her soulmate.
Tony Stark.
It's a better pairing.
And it comes and it's this weird wacky rom-com romance. And so they make jokes about it. That's why like
1994.
That's why supposedly he states that stuff that he goes, "You look way too pretty to be somebody's aunt," or something like that. It's supposedly some of that is a nod to a joke that they used to work together in films. So
that pairing, it sounds better than Tony Stark and MJ.
I really don't.
Shut your damn mouth. That is never a thing. It'll never be a thing. If Dan Slott tries to make it a thing, you know they'll rip his head off. They're already going downhill. If they do anything with MJ anymore,
Marvel, please just retcon.
They're
not that hard.
They're on thin ice right now. Sobolski's in damage control mode. This is like their last chance.
I think Asada is about to get get booted because let's face it, half this shit is under his stuff. Yeah. Darth Diabito just realized I got triggered. So SJWs, I'm scary, but pretty much he's on thin ice. Let's face it, he's responsible for everything. Everything that has to get through, he has to give the okay. He edits everything. He is responsible for SJW Marvel and everything that led up to it. He's the reason. That's why he's trying to get back into the comics. He knows his job's on the line. He's kissing ass to Sobolski, and I swear to God, if anybody else needs to, everybody says this. If you check out any reviewer, even the SJW ones, even state the first one that needs to go is Quesada, then Perlmutter, and then Alonso, and
Perlmutter.
President ain't going anywhere.
Here's the reason why Perlmutter needs to go is because he's had way too much creative control at Marvel since he and Toy Biz picked them up. And even though he's lost control of Marvel Studios, he's the reason the Fantastic Four have been able to come back to the comics since Four Stick.
But also, he also does so terrible budget cuts with the industry. He cuts corners so badly that these people they don't have toilet paper at their end.
He's gone to shit.
Like, wait, what? They don't have toilet paper?
There's an expose. Like there's an expose on some website that does like a documentary on Marvel's offices, and they're horrendously staffed and maintained. I don't think they even have a janitorial crew.
Yeah, they don't, you have to bring your own cleaning supplies. You have to bring your own toilet paper and napkins and stuff. They do not supply it.
Like, okay, so you know
how they're not using the seashell method from fucking
Judge.
Okay,
you know they actually explained that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh, Jesus.
Oh Christ. You know how Pole has that image of the stereotypical Jew with like rubbing their hands together?
Yeah.
Like, Ike Perlmutter is the stereotypical Jew. He's like I don't like saying that because Jews aren't like that in general, but like there's the stereotype of like the stingy Jew, but he
Mr. Krabs.
everything around that. Yeah.
He's Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs is a Jew. Ike Perlmutter, he's a Jew? I don't know that.
I think he is.
Okay. This is the real thing I see. I don't really see Jews or whatever because all I see is dick-ass suit. Dick-ass suit. Dick-ass suit. EA. You're all EA.
He's the reason we almost didn't get Captain Marvel. He wanted to push Inhumans as a movie and thought that the female lead wouldn't sell a Marvel movie.
You know what he wanted? He also said that Rhodey shouldn't get a big enough role because all black people look the same.
No, that's how he justified recasting Terrence Howard. He said all black people look the same. They won't tell the difference.
No, they don't. I was pissed off because I loved him.
I know.
The reason
but Don Cheadle's pretty great.
The reason that the recasting happened was simply
but he ain't no Terrence Howard.
Wait, guys, someone's trying to talk.
Okay, yes.
The reason that the recasting happened was because of a scheduling conflict.
And Terrence Howard was a dick. He was a reported dick on scene.
Oh, really?
And he wanted more money and top billing for Iron Man 2, even though Robert Downey Jr. like skyrocketed in success over him. So he quit the project and they recasted Cheadle over him.
Okay.
Didn't the same kind of happen with Ed Norton?
Yeah, Norton was a documented asshole on set. I like him more than Ruffalo, but I mean, if you're not gonna be cooperative with the
if you're gonna be a dick,
there's a lot of people who weren't cooperative with.
No, but like infamously assholes.
Yeah, those two particularly are bigger assholes. But let's just keep in mind that the director of Iron Man, Jon Favreau, and who was in Iron Man 2? God damn it, I forgot his name.
He was happy. He was Happy Hogan.
Well, no, I know that. I'm talking about the guy who played the villain, Mickey Rourke. Both of them were pissed off at Marvel Studios for quite a while.
Why?
Because Marvel was taking full control away from Favreau.
Oh yeah.
Not drunk. He go into a drunk rant, the director of 2, and said,
I don't think it was drunk. I just think he went on a rant.
It was a really good one, though. And I have to say, you bring up good points because he was like, you're never going to have a good one like Iron Man 2. I'm just going to say, because he didn't follow the formula like everybody else was either. There were times of quippiness, but it was more of Tony Stark being like, I'm a dick. And it's like, yeah, we know.
You're right.
Drunk people make the best points.
Yeah,
you're right.
And we're like, thank you, Tony. And it worked though, because it worked. And it was not, I don't think it was following the formula, because it was only when Josh Whedon came in and he made the formula was when everybody was like, this is the formula we will use forever. And it's like, please don't, because it's going to
please let that formula die in a fire at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Bumps doesn't use it because we already saw Wolverine is like, we can make a really sad story. And I think the Justice League tried to not follow it as much. They were like, but we're going to be less depressing. So it went super cheesy, wholesome at the end, but I kind of liked it at the end where they're all like, fuck it, we're going to be normal people. And it was like, okay, good, because I like Superman acting like a normal dude. He was like, I'm a normal dude, and I'm like, thank you, Superman, for being.
Someone disliked the stream. Oh well.
Oof.
That's been there for a while. It's not.
And then DC gave up and hired Michael Bay for Lobo.
And I wasn't doing stupid impressions and talking about my evil plot to use Carnage again.
Everybody,
let's talk about Spider-Man fanfic. Hey guys.
I was doing a dumb Spider-Man fanfic. Now I'm moving on to
fanfics. We all do. Look at Wilsnip. He makes the best one that we all live up to. I will market the shit out of his. I did variant covers for it. I'm special and stupid all at the same time.
Yeah, I have an entire comic vine over that, and some of the people in that thread are very zealous about it. Like, is it Marvel Man? He gets really hyped up for that shit.
Oh, for yours?
Yeah, Marvel Man 92.
No, I will admit this. I got mad at him once because I was announcing that I was doing one of your variants, and he's like, "Well, you got to do a good job for it."
Ooh, where can I find this?
And I just sat there. I'm like, "You bitch!"
Hang on, I'll send you.
You guys pictures all the damn time.
I'll put a link in the chat.
Which chat?
In the Google chat.
Chat. And I gotta go and put it on Twitter though. I gotta announce it on Twitter. I'll probably do a video sometime about it because I do love it. It is honestly like we need this in our lives a little bit more. We need more fanfics of just, hi, I'm Spider-Man. This is my hot, sexy wife. I have a kid. We're going on adventures.
I have a teen sidekick too. She's pretty cool. Even though she's like the most depressing part of the storyline.
Where the heck is
I thought you were gonna say she's pretty cool, even though the most depressing part about her is that Dan Slott made her.
I enjoyed the fact that I've gotten to retcon every single part of Slott's run and Brand New Day, as well as Civil War.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah.
It is just no. You guys gotta read it. You're gonna be like, oh hell yeah. He even pimp smacks like Dan Slott's love of Otto Octavius across the room.
Where do I go to the group chat? I think I'm lost. I'm lost, guys.
On the stream page, it'll be in chat.
Oh.
Is it bad that I like Doc Ock? Because I liked him.
Honestly, Doc Ock is a very compelling character. That's why even Slott liked him. Spider-Man 2 is one of the greatest and most interesting versions of him.
He redeems himself, and it doesn't.
The problem is that Slott has overused him to the point where we're sick of him, and that's kind of why I decided to subvert expectations and just get him out of the way early.
Yeah, same for his obsession with Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin.
Osborn, the Green Goblin, he only uses because all fans love the Green Goblin. All fans love him. He's the Joker to Batman, and so they need him. But Dalton Slott only does it because he needs the clicks. He needs the money. He needs to leave showing that he made money off of Spider-Man and not being known as I wrote rape.
And then on a personal note, I wanted to mention about Venom because I remember Nerd raved about how I wrote a really good Venom during Days of Deception.
Yes.
Ooh.
And fun fact, Venom is actually not my favorite Spider-Man villain, even though I dedicated a 6-part arc to him. It's more out of a sort of respect for Venom because even though I don't like him as much, you have to admit that he is one of the most important Spider-Man villains ever.
Hell yeah.
I like how personal he is.
And I won't shrug away just because I'm not the biggest fan of him. He deserves that same respect, and that's my problem with Slott is that he treats he only gives preference to certain villains. Like I love Mysterio and Spot, but I haven't done jack with them since.
Yeah,
it's about
very little with Mysterio and Spot.
Vash the Ashtray. Yes, Eddie Brock did appear in the fanfic. We're past the Venom arc, and we're moving on to the Wraith.
When Alchemist and I'm in a moment. When Alchemist and I were writing our little fan show, we came to we were talking about who to use, who not to use, and he really wanted to use Kraven the Hunter. I didn't because there's only one story for Kraven the Hunter that I actually like, and that is Kraven's Last Hunt. So I agreed to say, you know what? Okay, let's do it, but we have to reference Kraven's Last Hunt in it somehow. We have to squeeze it in there somehow.
I still gotta draw Kraven for you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know
what? He was a crappy character. I'm gonna admit it. He was a joke character. That was the issue with him beforehand. He was a gimmick, and but the Kraven's Last Hunt was built to create him as somebody you could pity and somebody that was terrifying and powerful. That was the whole entire basis around it. That he saw this character that could be so much more, and he created him that way. And I would respect him more that way.
My favorite scene in Kraven's Last Hunt is when he's crushed up naked eating spiders.
It's Alchemist's turn. Alchemist.
All right.
Go.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Another thing is that in my dumb thing, I was looking through how many times we used Doc Ock. I think ever since the arc of my uncle, my enemy, leading up to the Sinister Six, he was just like kind of just there as a supporting role.
No. Tell us about the Superior Six. I fucking love that concept.
Oh no, Superior Six shows up. The actual Superior Six shows up fighting
the Avengers.
No, the actual version, like the literal actual version.
Yeah, we have them in the Spider-Girl series?
Yeah, fighting
Spider Sisters.
Yeah, the Spider Sisters, complete with like old out of shape Shocker.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's sort of the old man of the group. He's the one to tell them, okay, look, these are spiders that we're dealing with. This is how you deal with them.
Sweet.
I always wanted to write like a Shocker redemption story because I don't know.
Max Landis has done that like twice now.
What?
And he lost that redemption story.
Max Landis wrote a fanfic like way back called The Shocker Legit. And it's like the biggest fan wank of all time. Like,
I was gonna call it the Shockshank Redemption.
Oh Christ! Like, you think that Doc shills Slot shills Doc Ock a lot? You have not seen Max Landis shill the Shocker.
Oh God!
Well, at least somebody's respecting the Shocker.
Yeah. Shocker!
¡Shocker!
To the ends of the earth!
¡Al fin del mundo!
You can't hide from me!
I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
I grew up on the 90s show in Spanish.
Hey, that's a version that actually did Craven write. He made him a hero too, and it was actually very compelling. Like, he was a very interesting character in that one. Like, he was never shown as a gimmick or anything. He was shown as a terror.
He was very serious too, because there's Spider-Man making the quip, "Hey, you look like you just got out of traction," and the response is funny because that's where you're going.
and it was so good. Like, this guy can take him down. Like, that was the cool thing, and it was just so good. Like, just see this Craven just being a badass, and then they call upon him again to help out when Peter becomes like the spider monster.
The man spider.
Man spider.
Yeah, man spider,
yes.
To capture him and apprehend him before he goes insane.
Anybody remember the Smosh Man Spider? The origin story?
That's like
I love it.
That's the literal origin of the 1000.
I love that origin. It's like
the man spider in the Smosh video eats the radioactive spider.
Yeah.
And that's literally the origin of the 1000 from the JMS run.
No, the 1000 was written by.
It was someone else. No, it was not JMS. What am I'm thinking of Naked Shiny Gold Man.
What the fuck?
Remember the Charlie guy from the JMS run? The Naked Shiny Gold dude who got stuck in
Molten Man.
No, not Molten Man. The other one from the JMS.
Hey, it's another naked shiny dude.
The Superman knockoff?
No, I'm trying to. We did an obscure villains thing for Crawlspace a while back, and that won the overall one. Naked Shiny Gold Man. It was Charlie Weiberman or something, and Peter
that was Molten Man.
That was not Molten Man.
That was a Molten Man. It wasn't the Molten Man. It was a Molten Man.
Was it? Hang on, I'm gonna look. This
Yeah. There was a discussion where we were talking about Carrion, and then I told him, "Yeah, there's like 3 versions," and he's like, "Wait, what?"
I forgot that there were 4 versions of Carrion. Like, I even remember. I mean, after he reminded me, I remembered the various different versions of Carrion that there have been, and yeah, I was a little embarrassed by how my memory didn't quite live up.
You wanna know what we need? We need a retcon everything, undo one more day, and just get rid of all the stupidity.
Okay, I just looked up Naked Shiny Gold Man.
Oh no.
Okay, so it was.
Whole search was on.
We're gonna get Alt May as the golden oldie if we're not.
No. You get a picture of H3 in gold paint because.
Oh my god!
So okay, here's what it was: is that it had powers similar to Molten Man, but it was never called Molten Man.
Yeah.
Right.
he was basically like, you know how Peter got bullied in high school? It's like JMS took it a step further and made this kid like even Peter bullied this kid.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, Charlie Whiterman.
Yeah, that
he went to his house and burned Aunt May's house down, right?
No, that was a different Molten Man, I think.
That was probably the original.
That was this one.
That was.
Yeah, in the JMS run, he went to Aunt May's house and burned it to the ground, and that's why they moved into Avengers Tower.
I have a question for everyone.
Advantage on that one. He's like, hey, get out of here.
Someone has a question.
Was the looter always a joke?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
He was always a joke, except for that time he was Meteor Man.
But there's two Meteor Men. There's that one with the like everyone says Black Panther is the first majority black cast. Y'all haven't seen Meteor Man.
Meteor
Man. They also haven't seen Steel.
Oh my god.
Blade.
Steel or
Fuck.
I don't know what those were.
Oh my god, you're right. Shit.
But they were okay. I'm gonna say this: Steel and Blade were not a full black cast, but they were the more diverse casts because they had all the ethnicities in these films. Steel, no matter how crappy it was, they had a disabled woman. That's like 10 times more diverse than any of these other films.
When are we gonna get a Silver Scorpion movie?
As much as I hate Steel, it's hilariously bad. Like that one scene where he's got the hammer and he's like, "It's hammer time," and he just slams it down on the guy's hood.
You can't go wrong with Shaquille O'Neal.
I did like that one thing where they saw him fly away and they were all like, "Where's he going?" And they're like, "Bat Cave," and I was like, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Oh, we get it because it's DC."
Oh,
there's that one scene where it's like he's so slow in the suit that he has to take the escalator.
Oh my god, that's right. Shaft within this movie. Shaft.
Oh yeah, he was.
It's got Shaft.
Yeah, he was the tech guy.
It's the Devil's Due. Aaron.
It's like
the Devil's Due.
I know Steel is a shit movie, but it's like one of those things that you can't ignore because it's so hilariously bad.
We're off topic again.
Wait, guys. Okay, I was going to talk about my dumb Spidey thing.
Okay, how about we talk about, listen, we can go back to anything, but we actually haven't mentioned another version of the films that came out. None of us are talking about them. What about the Amazing Spider-Man films?
I didn't see those.
Oh,
okay. I have a rant about this.
Here's a
I have a story to tell.
The web version or the 1971 version?
We're going to talk about the new version with Andrew Garfield.
Let's talk about Spider-Man.
We're not talking about that one. We will talk about that later, actually. We used to watch it in high school or college or something. Somebody found the DVDs, imported them. They're like, guys, look what I found. And then we would fall off our chairs. We're like, what the fuck? Is he riding? Is he a Power Ranger? Oh my god! And he's riding a lion, and we're like,
he kind of started the trend.
Yeah. Spider-Man started the trend. No one believes me. But yeah, Spidey was the one.
I believe you.
It wasn't. There was ones before that.
No, there were no giant robot. The Japanese Spider-Man is the first one to have a transforming giant robot. Before any other Sentai team ever had one.
Before that, I thought.
They did, but they never had a giant robot.
Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. That's
I wish I was, but I am not.
Oh,
change me apart on.
Yes, Spidey, you're the best.
I think we just broke Nerd.
I think that's so impressive.
You know what there also is to talk about? MTV Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
I saw that. I also grew up with that on Spanish.
I never saw it.
I also watched that.
I actually own it on DVD. Actually,
I've got the whole series torrented.
Well,
you could probably find it for a few bucks.
Is that something that you like that we went with Neil Patrick Harris?
You did a good job, I hear.
I need your help.
He was kind of I mean, that was probably just because voice acting was kind of limited at the time. Like they had some. I mean, in comparison to his co-actors, he was really good. Like Ian Ziering, the guy who played Harry, he was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I have just found something that is of relevance to the topic at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Fandom.wikia.com, the Marvel Wiki, has a top 5 ranking for the love interests of the Amazing Spider-Man.
No,
Oh God.
no.
Is Gwen Stacy to talk?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you how this goes.
Oh boy.
Number 5, Liz Allen.
Okay.
Now I can go into full detail if you want, or I can just read off the names.
Read off the names and then we'll go on later.
Number 4, Betty Brant.
Okay, yeah.
Number 3, Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. Number 2, Gwen Stacy. Number 1, Mary Jane Watson.
Okay. I'm gonna actually counter this because I actually have to say Gwen should be the bottom. I mean, should be number
3.
4. Number 4. I mean, maybe 3, but I think Betty was a better, stronger romance.
She's also been a better. No. She's a better character. Well, she's more.
No, I think it's because of Spectacular.
I mean, come on, they had that funny little anime scenes that was going on with her and Liz. I always thought if they wanted to write this into a manga, they should totally do it that Betty was swooning over Peter, and then Liz got jealous, and that's why they started wanting him. And it's like, you will not get Peter Senpai! And it's
dude,
like,
and then Mary Jane swoops in and takes him.
And goes, and then they're like, oh man, she's too hot for us.
We need a Bishoujo Spider-Man. We need a Bishoujo Spider-Man manga drawn in that trashy art style with the elongated necks and hands.
Ew.
We need it now.
Drawn in Berserk style.
Girls hate it. Like there was a joke. What was it? Splash Free 50% off made a joke somewhere about the weird yaoi hands and stuff because somebody found out that the drawings in the background, one dude has the tiniest hands, so they zoomed in on it and made one of the characters keep talking about it. He goes, "Oh my god, did you see his hands?" Like, stop showing it. He's probably very upset about it. He goes, "Oh my god, how do you live your life?"
Wait, actual question now, right?
Yeah.
I want to know, can you help me out here? Because, like, I've been trying to type shit up about, like, Craven and, like, about our version of Craven, and all he does really is just be really scary to Spidey.
I mean, hunt him down. That's Craven's goal.
There was a time he trained him.
The scariest thing you can do with him is to literally do the most dangerous game, but then make him the most, but always recognize that he is a deadly monstrosity, that he can kill you with his bare hands.
He fought Agent Venom with a stick.
Inspiration from Batman Beyond. There is a hunter character who runs around and he's Craven. He's pretty much Craven if Craven was a half cyborg.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that episode.
I remember that character.
I saw him and I'm like, Craven!
I mean, he fought Scarlet Spider, and like, if you've read Yost's Scarlet Spider, Kane can be pretty brutal when he wants to be.
I don't read the new shit. Okay,
wait, when did Craven fight Scarlet Spider?
Yeah, during Yost's run in 2012, like the Kane Scarlet Spider.
Yeah,
okay.
That stuff.
I was like, are we talking the Clone Saga? Because
no.
Hey guys, does Kane kill?
Yeah, I think he's killed before.
Okay, good. Because
in the Clone Saga, he was the one who helped get Peter put in jail.
Okay, it's because
he's a dick.
Well, it probably wasn't intentional, but it was Peter's. Yeah, kind of.
He did it to spite him.
He wanted to give Ben. He wanted to give Ben the life he wanted, and
yeah.
And so in the end, it was revealed that Ben didn't want that, so he agreed to admit that Ben did it.
I've also been trying to get some help, and you guys seem to be the experts in this. I'm trying to come up with like a name for the Spider-Man thing I'm working on.
Oh, okay, what's it about? Also, do you guys want me to bring in one more person?
No.
I think we're a little packed as it is.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I say no. I vehemently disagree because it's hard enough to talk to this.
I think Nerd and Alchemist have seen the Spider-Man design I did.
Yeah, you did. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's like I don't know what to call it yet. Like the best I've come up with is freaking Spider-Man Ultra.
Okay, just go with Spider-Man Unlimited.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, that's not going to be copyrighted at all.
Go with Spider-Man Rooftop.
Spider-Man Rooftop. I was also gonna go with like the web slinging Spider-Man, but like I'm just like
Well, it would be helpful if I saw what I was supposed to be looking at.
Oh
yeah, that would kind of help.
How do I send the picture here? Shit.
Okay, how about who wants the picture? I will send. Actually, no, I'll just fucking make a group chat. Wait, aren't you all in the room?
Yes. You can just send it to the Google Hangout.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't see it because I work on a tablet, but I mean, I already made it, so I know what it looks like.
Just send it to me, and I'll just post it in the Discord. Actually.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we should get back on topic to fan fiction.
So while you guys talk, I'll just.
I didn't get to really talk about mine though.
Go.
Well, we're also gonna. Well, I feel like that's for. I would like us to go and talk about it as a group later, so then we can market it. Like I can go and do announce them on another live stream.
Okay, guys, not to interrupt, but I'm gonna go real quick. I have to eat dinner.
No, that's fine. We'll put in a spare if you'd like.
I'll also put up the Ben Reilly in the Discord.
Yep, you can do that.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll do that first.
Quill, help me. I want to.
It was great having you here, Nightwolf.
You were saying, wait, where is it?
There's the Ben Reilly is in the comics in the room.
Okay, we're gonna put in one other person because do you guys want me to put in one other person or do you want me to wait?
We'll add sports tape.
Yeah.
What I was Devil asked if he could come back in.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah. I'm not really one to decide.
So many people, and I know you all know. Thank you guys so much for telling me when I put in too many people because I think everybody here knows I can't say no.
Yeah.
You're a person, and that's
generally speaking, for this kind of thing, 4 is about where you usually should have it. 5 is a pretty good upper limit. 6 is pushing it at the maximum.
Okay, then I posted.
I think if I ever host a live stream on my channel, I'll probably cap it at 4.
Yeah,
there are the designs if anybody wants to look at them.
Okay, because I would if we're gonna get farther into fanfics, I'd rather do it on a Discord or something like that. Just a group chat so we can just discuss this.
Matt, I'm very disappointed with you. You're not wearing a T-shirt that says "I'm not Daredevil."
One better, Nelson.
Oh shit! We're going full camera on. Okay.
Yeah, you're doxing yourself.
Oh no!
Oh, Slot already knows who I am. He's probably seen my attack video.
Slot already knows what I look like, so honestly, it's okay.
Slot already knows what we look like, so
he doesn't know how I look like yet.
He doesn't know what I look like, and that's okay. Cause you want to know what? I'm okay.
You don't want to get doxed.
Slot has me blocked.
I'd rather not get devoured.
I want to get.
I love your. Oh, that disc in the background. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that actually I picked up at a Fan Expo last year. It was just this great shot. I thought it was actually from real footage from the thing. I went, oh shit. So we got it, and then I actually got it signed by Charlie Cox. That's actually signed by Daredevil himself.
Damn.
Nice. Dude, that's why you like how we turned Daredevil into like a supporting role character in our thing.
I always laugh when I hear an actor's real voice, like a John Berthal. Yeah. He's just like, "Hey guys, I play the Punisher." He just sounds like a 20-year-old dude, bro. It's great.
Like John Boyega.
I saw him hanging out with the guy that plays Foggy. Oh my god.
Oh, Eldon Henson.
Yeah, they were fun.
When I heard John Boyega's like real voice in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 reveal trailer, I cracked up laughing because he sounds like radically different from how he does in the Star Wars movies.
Tom Hardy sounds like a teenager.
Like, hey guys, John Boyega here, and this is Star Wars Battlefront.
He has a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What confectionery does Deadpool remind you of?
bar is Deadpool?
What bar is Deadpool? What?
Wait, Deadpool? We're talking about Spider-Man.
No. It's gonna go back to Spidey really quickly. You know why? I know the answer. What bar is he? He is the Spider-Man ice cream bar with the gumball eyes.
Oh my god, those things are delicious.
He looks like it looks more like Deadpool. I'm being serious.
Those things are nightmare-inducing.
Because like they put the gumball eyes on it.
You want to know what?
Oh my god.
You want to know what? Deadpool would be, I have to say, a really soggy strawberry cupcake. Breaking apart. It may be still delicious, but it's really just really mushy and it kind of smells. But it's got sprinkles and stuff, so it's got that.
This little guy is with you.
Yeah.
It's a pop figure. Burn it.
I've got
Mighty Mugs forever.
I also don't like pop figures for some reason.
Remember Mighty Mugs?
Yeah. I think I only own these particular pop figures.
Yeah.
Wait,
Daredevil ones are great.
Hang on. Nerd's gonna shoot me for this one, but hang on. Yeah, look what I got.
Something more
A big
fascinating
time
than any
pop.
of your pop.
Stop doxing
Vinyl.
yourselves!
He already knows what I look like. Dude, I write for the crawl space. He knows what I look like.
There you go. This is what I got.
I have.
Here's my Daredevil Mopies.
Here's my waifu.
I'm like very tempted to show my figures too, but I don't want to dox myself by accident.
Yeah, don't dox yourselves.
I'll just post a picture of it.
I have a Guardians poster and an Avengers poster from the UK.
Variants. That's about it. The variant cover I did for Quilsniv, but that's about
Also
it.
a bunch of Transformers.
Like my figure, I only have the. I have a Superior Spider-Man figure, a classic Black Suit figure, and a Carnage.
Oh, I have a Carnage.
Spider-Man.
No, I like this
won
one.
the day. I won the day, guys. I won the day with Mayday.
Hell yeah, you did.
Oh yeah.
I also have MJ as well.
Yeah. Here's my little chibi Daredevil.
You know what I find funny? My favorite story of a Marvel Legends figure is what they do to the Xavier figure and how they make the leg shit on purpose so you can't make it stand.
Yes.
The Overwatch.
Brilliant.
Oh god.
All right.
The Overwatch pops are hilariously bad, notorious for falling over. Like I have a Tracer one, and it keeps falling over.
All right, that was fun. Time to turn off the camera. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's gonna eat you. Run.
Won the entire
Show us your
stream.
Mary Jane.
Oh, Mary Jane.
I think did Nerd go dark?
Wait.
No, she muted herself.
Oh.
Yeah, mute. Yeah, no,
So,
Oh, she's
You see,
chatting. Okay.
Hasbro being smart and all, right? While they gave us modern cuckold Spidey, right?
Oof.
In the same 2-pack so that people would buy it, they gave us something way more interesting.
Oh, there we go.
Let me
What's that?
just.
What did you get?
They gave us this.
Ooh.
Oh, the Legends MJ.
Yeah.
She's even got the nice sleeveless shirt. That's how I draw MJ.
Also, she's got the Green Goblin's man purse also.
I'm mad that they put the all new, all different costume in there. As much as I like the all new, all different costume, I hate the glowing.
It's the green.
Well, I mean, if they put purple, it would probably look even worse.
Yeah, like it's just a glowing effect in general. It's like it doesn't work on the
I like the big time suit, and I know people are going to shoot me for that, but I like the big time suit just because I'm a huge Tron fan.
Yeah,
but
the big time suit also turns out is the Scarlet Spider suit, just in a different mode.
Yeah, it's just like I don't like the fact that it's like it's like their standard suit, but look, it glows now because tech.
What is happening?
It reeks of
Okay, you know what? Before you say anything, Smaxo, Red Foreman's looking for your house right now because he's gonna put his foot in your ass.
What?
Ooh.
That's a really nice
Alchemist, talk so we can see it in full glory.
Hey,
say words.
This is Carnage.
Is that the Legends?
I love that. Has Carnage always had a Southern accent, by the way?
No, it varies depending on which version.
From Brooklyn.
Because that's how I'm going to write him.
Which led to this dumb thing of me just going, yes, this Brooklyn kid named Cletus.
Honestly, he needs to have one from fresh out of Alabama.
I agree.
He needs to have a Bel Air accent.
He needs to be just a full-on redneck. With the name like Cletus
Cassidy. Guys,
I mean, he makes shivs.
Cletus Cassidy.
He's already one step.
Oh, but anyway, this is...
There it is again.
This is what won the stream. Let's be fair.
Ooh-wee.
That is the one.
I probably lost credibility points for putting up the big time suit as my Funko of choice.
That's fine. I like the superior costume.
Whoever said they like the superior costume, that lost you credibility.
Oh, come on, it's a good costume.
Which one are you talking about?
Kill the fire! Get Alberto Ramos! Kill the fire!
Well, here's a question.
Don't kill this with fire. I like this.
Okay,
I'm talking about the...
Here's a question.
Second one.
Which superior suit, Mark 1 or Mark 2?
The second one.
Because Ramos designed both of them, I think.
Actually, no, Alex Ross designed the Superior Mark II technically. It's just Umberto said, oh, I'm just going to rip this off, rip this off, rip this off, and then I'm just going to put this little thing on it.
Well, I'm talking about more like in terms of they designed. Ramos made the initial sketches in 700, and then Cayman Coley made the final render.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, Max was talking about this. Like,
what's up with that?
If you play the original PS1 Spider-Man movie game and you unlock the costume, like the unlocked costume looks identical to that of it literally looks identical to that of the Superior costume.
Can somebody explain what that is? Why he has multiple heads?
It's from the 90s, I'm guessing.
Venom the Madness.
It's from the Madness. Yeah, what's the story with that?
We fought the Juggernaut. Then we fell into a nuclear vat.
Oh.
Then we came out like this.
Oh, well.
That makes sense, I guess.
It's Marvel.
That's actually a very literal acid trip.
I mean, like, if someone can become God via a gamma ray explosion, I think someone can get another head.
That's true.
Actually, that's a more realistic approach if you think about it.
Well, actually, yeah.
So the thing about the Alex Ross Spider-Man design in the old PS1 game that we all saw and absolutely adored is the color scheme is actually based off of Steve Ditko's original design, because the color palette was supposed to be red and black, but everybody kept seeing it as blue because of the primary blue highlights used to give it depth.
And also blue was used as kind of a substitute for black.
Right.
That's why the Japanese thought Venom was blue.
I mean, a lot of the early Venom interpretations, like after he fucked off from Amazing Spider-Man, he was colored like a very dark blue.
Yeah, that's why they turned him blue in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But, you know.
It's kind of sad when the shitty video game company known as LGN could actually make a more accurate Venom with all the black.
Guys, what kind of, like, I have a question for all of you guys. Like, for like your favorite comic book, what artist would you want on like your favorite superhero book?
I guess for Spider-Man, it just depends on the tone of the story. Like if you're going for like serious stuff, I'd get Stefano Caselli. Just because he has so much detail in his facial expressions and overall layouts. But if you're going for something a bit more lighthearted and not necessarily jokey, but has a more emphasized comedic tone, I'd go with Pepe Larraz.
Ooh, what about you, Devil Guy?
For Spider-Man, I'll do Spider-Man then Daredevil. But for Spider-Man, I'm gonna stick with old classic Mark Bagley. I think that. If you read his, obviously we all know what he can do at Ultimate Spider-Man, but when he was the co-creator of Carnage, and when I saw his work doing the 90s style artwork Spider-Man, when doing an adult Spider-Man, it very much captured what I pictured, that quirkiness, the awkwardness of Peter Parker, but also the kind of, the seriousness of what comes with being Spider-Man, the kind of the responsibility aspect. It's not too one direction in any direction.
Mark Bagley's artwork in the 90s Spider-Man run was amazing. No,
Well,
I
do think it's
McFarlane. You had Eric Larson, then you follow up with Mark Bagley. It's an all-star cast.
Right.
I'm gonna be a contrarian here and say that I'm not the biggest fan of Bagley's art. It's very dated in terms. I mean, a lot of '90s art is dated, but he's one of the few guys who carried on into the 2000s. And once you get into the 2000s, it becomes very hard to look at seriously, especially with the rise of more realist artists.
I disagree. I thoroughly enjoyed Mark Bagley's art on Ultimate Spider-Man, in spite of the whole trend of the more realistic tone of it.
So, Alchemist, what about you, Alchemist?
Would it be cheating to say I would like Mark Bagley because my first Spider-Man comics were the Ultimate ones, but also, fucking hell, I also want to see Alex Ross because I fucking love Marvels.
He's so dramatic. I love it. His art's so boom.
I mean,
bam.
Ross's weakness is that if you want a quality product, it takes a very long time for it to happen. Because if you've read any ASM recently, he's done covers for every single issue, and his quality of work has declined seriously. It doesn't have that same. It doesn't have the same impact as Kingdom Come. It just doesn't have that same emphasis of quality that it does in his DC works, mostly because he doesn't seem like he really cares about Marvel's work.
I think not a lot of people are caring about Marvel's work.
You seem to like his work on Marvels was really good though.
Did everybody go already?
No.
Shogun.
Who's next?
Well,
I'll go last. For what I want is for Scarlet Spider, I want Gerardo Sandoval, and for Venom, I want Tradmore.
Gerardo Sandoval. He's the guy who's doing Venom right now, right?
No, currently it was Mark Bagley actually recently.
No, the Gerardo Sandoval. He's doing Venom. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, he did, and when I saw the Tradmore art on 150, he's really good at liquid and motion. He doesn't do motion blurs. He does multiple drawings to convey motion, and his line work is so smooth and crazy.
Yes,
it's awesome. And then for
there's something I don't like about how Venom's recently drawn, because they make him so fucking roidy.
I mean, that's how he's always been. That's how he's always been, kind of.
No. I mean, immovably roidy Magoo.
That's why the Tradmore art works, because it makes it look possible. I mean, you ever read Luther Strode? Jesus Christ.
I mean, remember how fucking big and burly he is, but it's impossibly big and burly, he's stuck in the 90s.
At least he's not Humberto Ramos burly. Remember that?
Okay, God. I'll give Ramos credit for something, is that he draws a very anatomically incorrect Venom, but I think that's kind of an interesting take on Venom.
I do like the Venom face that he does.
The Superior Venom was a very interesting look at.
Ramos draws anatomically incorrect in general.
I know, but with Venom, it does have some interesting concepts.
Here's what you do: you get Gerardo Sandoval to draw the rest, and just get Humberto Ramos to draw Venom the whole time.
Actually, I forgot to mention that for Daredevil, it's I already got that, but
dude, I also want Sean Gordon Murphy on Daredevil.
Actually, that wouldn't be bad, because I always felt that
have you seen
needs something gritty. He always needs something dirty. But
have you seen Sean Gordon Murphy's Daredevil drawing?
Ever do it? David
Oh shit! Jesus, fuck! Scared the shit out of me.
We weren't talking about anything. Nope.
No,
nothing at all.
Sean Gordon Murphy's Daredevil.
And that would be badass. But
I'll post it in the comics. There's I'll post it in the comic section. There is a Sean Gordon Murphy Daredevil drawing, and he looks fucking sick.
Dead. Oh man.
Yeah, Vash.
Is he gonna do the rated R version of his White Knight?
I hope so. That'd be nice.
Oh man, I want that so badly.
I just want to see Rule 34 in action for Batman in a canon.
There it is in the comics Discord.
Oh my God, like everything about his art, and I'm like, wait, there's a whole you drew these scenes naked? Damn.
Actually,
I say that
I'll
too.
be in my Nerd Wonder's going. I'll be in my bunk.
Vash makes a good point that Ramos's art does look horrendous. I think it's just that I grew up with that art, so I'm just not as.
I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. But yeah. Also, Chris Samney.
There's worse time periods to grow up with art. Like, don't forget, America Chavez is a thing, and there's young children out there. They get this heroin crack.
Who's gonna shoot me for saying
a bunch of people in the name of Fidel Castro?
Guys.
Is that what we're talking about?
No, we're not talking about Fidel Castro.
We're not talking about political revolutionaries.
Why?
Representative.
Why are we talking about Saddam Hussein again?
No, my God.
That's not what we're talking about, guys.
No, we're not talking about that.
I'm pretty sure.
You think everyone that lose their mind.
Cuba. What are we gonna do about it?
Cuban Missile Crisis, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only one who can help is the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah.
Hey, freak show!
The crap.
You're going nowhere.
Who said that he should America with MJ? I'm gonna snap him with the Slim Jim.
Dude, if there was like a Spider-Man Lucha arc in WWE, that would have been great. Like he turns into Superior Spider-Man.
No, I did that in my wrestling game, and he wore an NWO shirt.
Turn into Inferior Spider-Girl.
Oh man.
I was gonna say something, but I knew you'd get mad at me.
Yeah, I probably would.
Because it's the lesser of the two genders.
Hey! Spider kill!
Actually, here's a good question. Who would you want to see do the art? Who would you want to see to do the art on a Iron Man run?
Name him. You guys name
Murata.
Other nerd bro, so you guys get to name this one. Superior bro.
Superior nerd bro.
Ew.
I do the superior one.
Superior Chad Man.
I just spit in the face of people who don't want to swing.
Chad Mania.
Okay. The Virgin Mania that Chad Quillsniv.
Okay, so I think I was the only one who didn't actually have a turn of who I'd want.
Sorry.
Gunther is in my damn stream. Now we're in a party.
Hey, we just broke up, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's a Gunther.
Okay. So my decision, my choice on who I'd want. Spider-Man is among my favorite heroes, and so I'm going to use him as the example here. I'd want the Dodsons on him.
Oh yeah, their Marvel Knights run was great.
I want to see what they drew.
They did the first 12 issues of the Molar Marvel Knights run. Frank Cho filled in for 5 and 8, but they did the majority of it, and it was great stuff.
I mean, Marvel Knights is weird. Captain Marvel with breasts, so that makes them good.
Yes.
Even Marvel vs. Capcom gives Captain Marvel breasts. Like, come on, guys. Just even I can draw breasts.
Okay.
No, poorly, but
she's not Carol Danvers anymore. She's Carl Manvers. Gotta stick with the times, guys.
Damn it, Carl!
My brother does not know about Carol Manvers, so let me go and explain.
Oh God.
Marvel, where women can't have boobies, so they're all drawn to be men now. They only have.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Because the best way to make
Wait, hold up. I have a question about that.
Yep.
How do they breastfeed? Do the
they
men?
Don't. They don't.
They don't
even have kids.
What if it's a fat guy? Does he have breasts?
Yeah, that's like he poisons everyone.
Bigger boobs than women.
Who is making Randy Savage noises?
It's
me, an alchemist.
The Macho Man Randy Savage. That's me, yeah.
Oh.
But
Dan slotted.
Okay. Yeah. Guys.
Didn't he have some news organization, the Gab? Yeah, he killed the Gab.
Yeah, he took out Daily. Like, yeah, it was a big...
No, that's Hogan. Hogan killed Gawker.
Holden killed Gawker because something about his dick size.
Yeah. No, it's using my sex tape. We're gonna have a match.
Called you champ.
Holy shit, we've like completely derailed into a shit posting stream.
Let's talk about something more high class like Spider-Man fanfiction.
Please.
No. Did you guys talk about those Andrew Garfield films?
Yeah,
no.
Kind of.
Well, I didn't see them, so I'll just.
All right. I'll go first.
There were people out there that were pissed off that Gwen Stacy died. It's like, did you even read the books? You're like the people that got pissed off at the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones.
That was my favorite part.
Let me go. Let me go.
He's still alive.
Guys, let Edgar go.
Okay, so when I heard that they were making The Amazing Spider-Man as a reboot of the Spider-Man franchise, my immediate thought was, oh dear God, please let these movies suck complete ass so that Sony will be forced to sell the rights back to Marvel just to recoup their money.
Lo and behold.
And so I go to the theater. And I go in wanting to absolutely despise the shit out of these movies.
Yeah.
And much to my shock and disappointment, I actually enjoyed it.
Oh, you did?
I mean, isn't it the first one? It's the second one that everyone hates.
Yeah,
I like the second one.
I actually didn't like I didn't like the second one because it just went everywhere. But the first one, it was weird. They were always like really putting in the perspective of this is Peter Parker's father and stuff. It's like, you know, his mom died too on that plane. Do you want to talk about her? It's like, no, it's only about the father. It's like, I miss my dad. You got your Uncle Ben right there. I don't know. He doesn't count. I miss my dad. Your dad like left you when you were 5.
Wasn't his?
You realize that if SJW Marvel was writing that movie, they would completely ignore the dad and just focus on the mom, even though she basically is not related to anybody except for Peter.
Guys, Edgar was still talking.
Yep.
Sorry, my brother.
Yeah, and I even wrote a review on it on Facebook. Like, the Lizard was great. Gwen was great. The performances were great.
No, Gwen was with everybody else. That was Emma Stone playing Emma Stone. Emma Stone doesn't play other characters. She plays Emma Stone.
Okay.
Maybe hold on. No. So you guys. Nope. Maybe it's just because I had never seen Emma Stone in anything else before that, so I didn't have context for her performances.
But also, I think it also makes her actually. The other thing is, let's face it, Gwen Stacy had no personality. She was a bitch that just was. I'm sorry, she died, and that's all she's known for.
Not to mention that costume was hot fucking garbage. Oh god!
I actually quite like it just because it's something a 17-year-old could cobble together.
Sorry. Wait, can I just say this, right? Very important, okay?
Yes.
Spider-Man, we gotta stop King Koopa from turning everyone into Goombas.
Mario.
Where's my shotgun?
You can't shoot me. I'm bulletproof. The skull mask protects me.
Here's all that I'm gonna say. I think that instead of bringing back J.K. Simmons to play the head of the newspaper,
Jameson.
Yeah, Jameson. We should use Jeff Bezos. They look exactly the same.
Wait, show me that.
Okay, I know people are gonna shoot me for saying that.
Oh my gosh. He's right.
Put up a picture.
Show me.
Whatever happens.
No, I can't do it in the. Okay. No. Okay.
I'll just open a new tab.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not retarded.
I'm not,
Okay, guys. I know people are gonna hit me for saying this, but I think Terry Crews would make a really good J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michelle. Okay, I said this before. That if her nickname, her last name is J. Okay, I can do it from here.
Copy link address.
Let's face it. If Michelle's last name does start with a J, it's not going to be Jones. It's going to be Jameson. So obviously, she's the daughter of Jameson. So Terry Crews has to play Joni Jameson.
He has He has so much energy and charisma that he could just pull it off so well. Like if you've seen,
I need more pictures. Spider-Man.
I want like Terry Crews.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, and I posted on the chat. Yeah, he's in 99. My brother got me into that show. She's really good in it.
So good.
But I posted in the group chat, the Google Hangout.
Picture of Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, the chat's Jaden. My brother has picked out this.
Holy shit!
Right? But okay, Tim Morris.
What is this?
Tim Morris actually cracked this.
It looks like it wants to beat the shit out of Spidey.
Amazon.
He owns Amazon.
Right? That's not what you expected, was it?
Guys, this made me giggle. This made me laugh.
He's the richest man in the world.
He owns Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The guy that my brother posted a picture of, he owns Amazon. He looks like Jameson if we put a mustache
And
on
she
him.
means the drink. If you take a bottle of Jameson and you put a mustache on it.
I actually wrote Jameson.
Guys, Tim Morris actually posted an idea that just made me laugh, but in a horrible way.
Yeah,
they should cast Alex Jones as Jonah Jameson.
Alex Jones.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
We can't have the spider bites that turn the freaking teens gay.
Yeah, spider globalists are gonna be. They're gonna get us everywhere, man.
I almost made a Jonah Jameson reference in a prose I wrote about Tony Stark devolving back into his alcoholism.
I actually did that when we were doing our Web of Spider-Man series. Like, I wanted, Aunt May to be listening to the radio, and she's listening to this Alex Jones-esque figure, and we just turned it into Jameson.
Yes!
Oh.
I'm in. I'm already in before, but now I'm in again.
Oh yeah. Now that you guys saw some of the costumes, what do you think I should call this dumb Spider-Man thing? What do I call him?
Not
sports tape.
Sports. Well, that's Ben Reilly.
Sure.
You're gonna show my brother has a picture he'd like to show you guys. He's really serious about it. He wants you to see.
I just want you guys to know also I'm just a little 11-year-old boy.
I can tell.
Where's the picture?
I need that picture. I need that picture of Joe Manganiello. I need that shot.
Where is it? I can't find it.
Asshole. Oh my god! Is that the asshole who is he the kind of guy in Subway who would wipe the knife with his armpit?
I mean, it's my brother.
Oh, that's not me. I didn't.
That doesn't tell us much.
It looks like other Joe from the
I figured
Angry
you guys would like it.
No, you should take credit.
No.
There's a story I have to tell you guys. A story about a man.
Yeah.
A Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Now this is the story all about how my life got turned upside down.
I got bitten by a little spider.
Well, we're getting it is getting a bit late, so I think we're gonna go and wrap it up here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Probably gonna bug
Wait,
out.
final goodbyes. Okay.
All right.
We'll meet again. Don't know where.
What the absolute fuck is
that?
Kids. All right. Well, we'll see you around. We'll do another live stream another time. So
I feel like someone's gonna bug around
even if it takes forever.
Maybe next time
I will wait for you.
I'm just gonna go hang up.
Maybe one of
I hate
them.
Bye.
Yeah, I got
This is amazing.